If ACT's position and policy on firearm laws has got your attention this year, it might be time to take a second look at giving your party vote to ACT, because actually we're a party that has been a useful ally for the hunting community, and we've been there all along. Back in April, I found out what it's like to be 1 against 119. In fact, it felt like one person against the whole country when I said it was wrong to try to fight terrorism by dispatching our democracy, to try to hold a country together by turning on a group of people who'd done nothing wrong. Those bans and that law was the worst thing our country could possibly have done. And I'm afraid to say that what I predicted at the time, the abject failure of the buyback and the erosion of trust and respect for the law amongst the licensed firearm owning community, has come true. It's absolutely critical that we reverse the worst of those changes, and it's important that we continue to oppose the second tranche of firearm laws that will reduce the ability of people to form clubs and societies that actually provide the community we really need for safe firearms use. The register will be a disaster as we see more and more government departments losing sensitive information already. We don't need to give them more. And as for the idea that owning a firearm is a privilege, not a right, well, if you look up the dictionary, it says a privilege is a kind of right. This government just hasn't thought it through. Perhaps worst of all with the second tranche of laws, they're planning to have only 5 months in select committee. 2 of those months will be over the Christmas break that Parliament has, so really it's a 3-month public consultation instead of the usual 6. Why? Because they want the second set of gun laws to be passed fully through Parliament in time for the March 15 anniversary in 2020. An election year. Once again, this government is putting political optics ahead of good lawmaking, and it's frankly despicable. I'm proud of what ACT has done standing on principle on firearm laws, but we also know that firearms are a small, or at least should be a small part of the policy landscape for the hunting community. Our fundamental view is that hunters are part of the modern New Zealand ecosystem. We reject the belief that the ecology would be better off without humans. We think that hunting is part of responsible game management, as well as providing meat, mateship, and a sense of purpose and recreation to tens of thousands of New Zealanders. The key to keeping those objectives together is cooperation. Yes, DOC have a role. They're the largest landowner in New Zealand. But they should see the hunting community and the Game Animal Council as friends and allies as a matter of policy, not only when it suits them. We reject the idea that New Zealand would be a better place if it returned to the way it was before humans came. Even if it was true, it is now impossible to go back and costly and impractical to try. Altogether, the ACT Party can claim to be the only party in Parliament with a pathway back to Parliament that has taken a principled stand in support of this community. I hope that you'll pay it forward by giving your party vote to the ACT Party next year so we can more powerfully represent your interests in Parliament and put in place the kinds of policies that ACT promotes.